Heather. I'm here, dietitian and health promotions manager with the Canadian Celiac Association. Today, I am going to walk you through one of my very favorite recipes, especially for a picnic basket. These are just lovingly in our house known as Mom's Granola Bars. They're a recipe that I found many years ago from a friend of a friend, and it's just been one that has stuck in our family. And you can see I've got my home recipe book here, and it's just been written on a cue card and it's been scribbled on, but I can still make out the gist of it, although most of it I have to memory. So this is a great recipe. It is of course gluten-free. It is a source of fiber, it is a source of protein, and it's even got a little sweetness in there for the kids, so everybody will enjoy it. So first thing we're gonna do is we're going to get our gluten-free oats, and to a bowl, we're gonna add 3 cups. This recipe is about as simple as it comes, which is why I think it's been one of the staples in our house, because it's easy and it tastes good and it's got health properties too. So oats, of course, are high in soluble fiber, which is good for heart health, and also has insoluble fiber, which is good for overall digestive health. So oats, always gluten-free. Remember that oats have to be labeled gluten-free in order for them to be safe for people with celiac disease. So starting off with gluten-free oats. Next up, we add 1 cup of chopped nuts. So nuts of your choice. I often go over a cup. Sometimes I do about 1.5 cups. For the girls, because my 3 girls, 2 of them are in elementary school, so I use seeds so that they can take these they can take these granola bars to school and have them school safe. Because here in BC, and I imagine throughout many parts of Canada, they are also the same, nut-free zones. So here I've got about 3/4 cup of pumpkin seeds. So I'm going to put those in. Pumpkin seeds are a good source of protein, also a very good source of iron. If anybody is low in iron, pumpkin seeds are a wonderful vegetarian source of iron. I've also got some sesame or sunflower seeds here, excuse me, and I've just kind of got them in this container. These are also gluten-free. I'm just going to sprinkle them in. I think I'll just put them all in. Nuts and seeds don't have to be labeled gluten-free. As long as there's no gluten-containing ingredients in the ingredients list, in the may contains or contain statement, nuts you can buy without a gluten-free label. So that's always good to know. So I've got, those are my nuts or seeds as I'm using. Within that, now it doesn't call for it necessarily in the recipe, but I also like to add coconut. I love the flavor of coconut, not everybody does. So I like to add 1/2 cup of coconut, sometimes a little bit more. This recipe is very forgiving, so you don't have to follow it to the book. Next, we've got all of our favorites, 1 cup of chocolate chips. So pop those in there. And then next we will put in a can of sweetened condensed milk. So here I have a can of my sweetened condensed milk. I'm gonna open that up. All this yummy gooey goodness. Okay, so that's our dry ingredients. We're now gonna add our sweetened condensed milk. I'm just gonna pour this deliciousness right over top of everything. Scoop it out. Hi, Sophie, are you coming to help me cook? She knows these granola bars well, so whenever she sees them being made, she wants to come over and help. All right, so we've got that. Next, we're going to take our 1/2 cup of butter and we're going to melt it in the microwave. Okay, now we've taken our totally melted butter, so totally melt it, so it's liquid, and we're going to pour that in here into our mixture as well.
Hey Mom, just a question. How much butter did you use?
1/2 cup of butter. And then we're going to mix it all up together, as you can see here. Em, do you want to just watch here?
Yeah.
Okay, so it might seem a little bit dry, but that's exactly how we want it. This is exactly the consistency and the moisture level that we want. So we're just gonna mix it up until everything is coated. So this looks pretty good. Do you wanna just show Emma, the camera, how this looks once it's all mixed up?
Does it look good, Sophie?
Looks yummy. next we're gonna take our 9x13 pan. So I've got my 9x13 dish. This is the same dish that I would use for lasagna or other squares. And I've got parchment paper that I already ripped off. And we're just gonna line this. This will stick terribly. So please use parchment paper or make sure to grease your pan well because it is very sticky and it's much easier to use with parchment. So then we just take this and we dump it all in here and it's so yummy. So we're gonna dump all this yummy goodness into the 9x13 pan. And then here's what we're gonna do. So if you come up close, we're gonna really spread it out and get it into all the corners and the edges.
Oh, I'm so excited to eat this.
Everybody really enjoys this in our house, and it generally disappears. And there's chocolate chips.
The one sesame.
The chocolate chips make it really yummy for everybody here. So here's what I like to do now. I don't like it to be lumpy on top, so I go like this. I press the edges down.
Sophie, what's your favorite part of the granola bar?
Chocolate chips.
The chocolate chips. Okay, so just take a look here. So I'm just going like this, back and forth, and just really smoothing the top down so that it's got a nice smooth surface on the top. And it's even all around. So then it really condenses the granola bars so they don't crumble once they're cooked. And then, once we've done that, this is ready for the oven. It is as simple and as fast as that. And as I said, you can make any variation of this that you want. I used to put in dried apples and dried apricots. I'm not a raisin fan, but you could put raisins in there very easily, or cranberries. My kids are not fans of dried fruit. There's chocolate chips. My kids aren't fans of dried fruit. They're fans of chocolate chips. So we put the seeds and chocolate chips in. So now we're going to put this in the oven at a 325-degree oven in the middle of the oven. It has to cook first for 25 to 30 minutes or until brown. So we're going to put this in right now, and then with the magic of movies, we are going to bring it out for you to show you. Okay, our timer has just gone off, and I'm just going to check to see how it looks. Okay, as I get that blast of heat from the oven. So it looks good. So do you want to come over and take a look? So you can see that it's just slightly browned on top, and it looks just perfect. So now what we're going to do, we're going to turn off our oven and put this to the very back. So no little hands, if you have little hands in your house, no little hands are going to touch it and get burned. And then what we're going to do is we're going to let this cool. And then I like to cover, I've got a cover for this 9x13 pan, and then we're going to put it actually in the fridge. And you can leave it in the fridge overnight, or you can leave it in the fridge for a couple of hours, and that's going to really harden up the granola bar so it slices easy. Okay, so I put the granola bars in the fridge a few hours ago, so we're just going to get them out, and then we'll cut them up. All right, so I covered them up and left them just as is. So what you can do, what's handy with the parchment, is you can just lift the whole thing right out of the parchment, out with the parchment, and then peel it back, and use your cutting board and a sharp knife. And then what you can do, it depends if you like the edge. Sometimes if I'm using it, if I have company coming over, I'll cut the edge off, but the kids love the edges, so I just cut it with the edge. So it depends on how big of a piece you want it to be. And then I just, with clean hands, can put it directly in. Sometimes it sticks a little bit to the parchment paper, but usually it's pretty good. And then it gives you an idea, this is what your yummy granola bar is going to look like. And then you can pop them in here, you pop them in the freezer, pop them in the fridge. They do best cooled, especially in the heat of the summer. They will soften up at room temperature, so keeping them chilled is always a better idea. So anyways, I'm gonna have a nibble of this end part. Bon appetit, enjoy!
I love granola bars.